What's up? My name is Daisy, aka the buckest woman on earth. I'm from Los Angeles, California. That is the birthplace of the style. Some call it the Mecca. From the first generation, which means the beginning. I'm an honorary member of Wonder Women, Krump, and I rep the West. I would say raw, wild, animalistic, beastie, just untamed. And that's what Krump was at the beginning, in its most authentic state. The beginning stages, that was Krump. You know, today you see a lot more technicality, structure to the dance. You know, it's more about, I guess, the thought that's put behind what you're doing, as opposed to back then. It was more about just that raw expression. Women had character, they had attitude. It was definitely some individuality there too as well, because there were women who had big homies at the time, but the big homie trend, or just the trend of the fams, how it is now, it wasn't like that back then. It was a lot more of people having their own names. So the first women that I was around in the style were part of the Cartoons family, which is the first Krump group to be established. So the group that I was a part of, Get 'em Up Clowns, which switched over to Get 'em Up Soldiers, we actually linked up with the Cartoons family. So that's where I met Miss Prissy, Nana, Tree, Choo Choo, Lil Choo Choo, Storm, you know, all of them. And they were all crazy. I'm talking, these women would get out there, hop in a circle and hit you with a stank face with a crazy bang, but you felt everything that they were doing. It was just like, it was powerful. So that's what it was like back then, you know. And that's what, you know, I was raised in. Like, those were my peers. So I think it helped sort of nurture me just kind of having that natural essence about myself, like just the Krump being there. You know, you didn't necessarily have to have tons of combos or moves or just, you know, a gang of material at the time. People just felt you. They just felt what you were doing. It was energy exchanged. So that's what it was like. So as far as improvement goes, women have improved tremendously. I would say the women of today have a lot more technique. Skill set is up 10,000. Posture, body control, the thought that's put behind what's going on, the jabs, the placements, like everything is a lot cleaner, a lot smoother, transitions, timing. But see, all of those things, I feel like they came with just the elevation of the style. So as Krump evolved, women began to do that. But there was a time period, I want to say maybe after Rise, where a lot of women from the beginning were no longer dancing. So it was real scarce. Like, I was still out here. I was out here. Prissy was out here, but it was kind of like a new wave of females that kind of popped up in the city who missed the earlier period. So they didn't have just the natural essence of just that raw expression. So they came in when things were changing. So as far as, like, you know, moves were starting to be developed and a certain way that arms were getting thrown and all of that, like, women lacked that during that period of time. But as it started progressing and I think spreading internationally and in different states, also in the USA, and things were becoming more available as far as like the knowledge. So then you had like the DVDs, the krump DVDs that start coming out. I think women started to gravitate to that information and really study it and really try to apply it just in the lab. So improvement is definitely like great right now. As far as what has deteriorated, I would say women no longer have their own identity in the dance. You can even say women probably never fully had their own identity. I know that me, as Daisy, I've always been Daisy. It was never about seeking out a big homie for me. Like, really, any crews that I was a part of, like, this was just, you know, it was bros. Also had sisters that was in it. That was the fam, but it wasn't like, you know, I'm looking for somebody to teach me. It was never really about that. It was, krump has always been an exchange. You know, when you get in the lab, and you labbing with your fam or whatever, somebody's coming up with a crazy idea, and then you probably got like 4 people looking at that person saying, yo, that's dope. All right, take that out, add this to it, you know. So with women today, they lack that. A lot of women are kind of identical to whatever it is that their big homie is showing them or whatever's being taught in today's workshops. So krump has kind of become that. It's gone in that direction to where everybody's just taking classes and doing tournaments and things like that, as opposed to what it used to be, you know, just raw dancing in somebody's living room or in a garage or in an alley or at a park, whatever the case. Now it's a lot more, it's just the structure aspect of it. I feel like it kind of robbed a lot of women of just that essence and that feel, just finding out how we can approach things as women. What can we bring to the style aside from, you know, the males? Because krump historically has been male dominated. So it is kind of natural to just follow through with whatever was already set as a foundation. But I feel like women definitely need to find themselves within the dance, within your names. And then you don't have to pressure yourself into having a fam or having little homies. Like, it doesn't have to be that. You don't have to have little homies. You don't have to teach a workshop. Somebody recently asked me a question, a female krumper. You know, like, what does it take to receive certain ranking in your city? You know, do you have to teach a workshop? Do you have to do such and such? And I had to explain to her, like, it's not really like that. How it used to be back in the day, you can be the tightest person that day, and then the next day people can decide it's somebody else. So really, it's just a matter of opinion. It's the opinions of your peers. You just got to know yourself that you are krump, that you're buck, you know, and if you love it, you're doing it for the love of the style and the movement and the community, as opposed to any other aspect, you know what I mean? So yeah, I would say women are definitely improving, but at the same time, women, they lack that originality, they lack essence, they lack just being a presence in the movement on your own, apart from a male or apart from a fam, you know, or whatever it is that women believe that they need to do to be recognized. So honestly, advice that I wish I received, I wish somebody would have like definitely emphasized to not allow krump to become priority over everything, you know, other ambitions, other dreams, my livelihood, you know what I'm saying? Like, and this is coming from a buckhead. Like, I've been a buckhead since I was like 12 years old. You know what I'm saying? Love krump. It's always in my heart. It's always a part of me. No matter what I choose to do, where I go in life, how old I get, krump is in here. But I realized that I allowed myself to be so focused on being at a session, be so focused on being at the next event, you know, and I wasn't putting the same effort into other areas of my life, especially like even I do music, you know, and is something that I've also been passionate about and I love. And I didn't put the same effort into like recording and, you know, just, I probably would be a lot further, you know, than I am now in that aspect of my life, as opposed to just always being on the krump stuff. But then also, I've witnessed a lot of krumpers just throughout life who don't even know how to, you know, navigate school or work or juggling, you know, feeding themselves, where they're gonna stay, you know, just taking care of business. You know, a lot of us now are adults, and when we started dancing, we were, you know, teenagers. And so I would say definitely don't prioritize it over your livelihood, over things that you need to handle. You know what I'm saying? You can love krump, you can do it, you can include krump in other things. If you're creative in other aspects, you can include it. You're a buck person, you're gonna be buck. And honestly, that's the culture that I'm pushing now, buck culture, because when you're buck, it's the way you think, it's the way you approach life, it's how you dress, how you talk, how you move. You're just a buck person. You can identify it in other things, so you can definitely bring that buck into every area of your life. But don't allow just you trying to dance and be popular but you don't have nowhere to live. Like, doesn't make any sense. So please, like, if you're just now getting into this, you can love krump, you can take your classes, you can watch your footage, you can link up with your homies to do it, but don't allow that thing to become something bigger than, you know, everything. Honestly, I want to say my first female inspiration in krump was a clown dancer by the name of Riri. So Riri was a part of Tommy the Clown Squad. I don't know if she was, I think she was main T Squad, or she could have been high class, but I think she was main T Squad. But Riri was a clown that I witnessed get off as if she was already krump. And I don't even think Riri ever crossed over into the krump style, but she was definitely getting off like a krumper. She had the craziest bang and the craziest face I had ever experienced. I don't know if I had really seen Prissy a lot at that time, because we weren't close to cartoons yet, but Riri was the first one that I saw that I was like, whoa, she's crazy. And I feel like I sort of patterned myself after her. So shout out to Riri. I know we never even formally met or anything, but you were my inspiration going into krump, Riri. And then also the Cartoons family, just overall, because that was the first krump group. That was where everything got started for me. So shout out to the Cartoons family as well. And yeah.